This is going to demonstrate finding a confidence interval for the population proportion. It says a survey of 150 households found that 36% of the households had a DVR, and we'd like to find the 95% confidence interval for the true proportion of households that have DVRs. And so the formula that we're going to use is this formula. We're going to try to capture P in between two numbers here and here so that we have a confidence interval. The P hat is created from the sample information that you have, and the sample information tells us that 36 out of the 150 households had DVRs. So the P hat is created by making a fraction out of that. That's the proportion that had DVRs in the sample. Now, the top number is usually referred to as the X, and then this is your sample size. So the P hat is created by the X, the number that have the DVRs out of the sample size. Sometimes you can make a decimal out of this if it turns out to be a nice number. Like this one's 0.24. There's nothing wrong with using 0.24 in place of this fraction. If that was a decimal that was non-ending and non-repeating, I don't think that I would use the decimal and round it because it would probably throw things off. I would just go ahead and use the fraction. But since this is a nice decimal, I'm going to go ahead and use it in here. All right. So the P hat is going to be 0.24. The Z that goes with 95% confidence is 1.96. There's an earlier video that talks about how to find that. This is the same P hat right here, 0.24. And then Q hat would be the proportion of households that do not have DVRs. And so it would be 76% because this number and this number have to total to 1. So this is 0.76. And then the sample size was 150. We're going to squeeze that P between that number, and we'll put the plus version of this on the other side. Going to enter it into the calculator. I'm doing the left side first. I'm getting about 0.17, so left side is about 17%. Right side 0.308, so about 31%. So I'm going to write down decimals on this. So 0.172 and 0.308. If you want to make your proportion into a percent, you could do that. You could write like 17%. About 31%. These are both acceptable. I'm going to show you how to check this on your calculator. You want to go to the Stat button, and you're going to take your right arrow and click right twice because you want to get over on the word tests. This is down a little ways. This is a 1 proportion Z interval. So we're making a Z interval about a proportion. So enter. The X is this X that we had. Let me move the calculator a little bit so you can see it. The X is this 36. It's the number of households that had DVRs. The N is your sample size. the confidence level was 95, and then come down on calculate, and we're getting the same answers what we had before. So you can double check these on your calculator.